The point, I guess, is that sometimes because people don't understand, they continue to perpetuate things that are very negative about indigenous culture. And that, one, we hope that students, as they're learning about indigenous culture, can at least be open-minded. You don't have to become indigenous, as some people try to do, and you don't have to love everything about it, and you don't even have to agree with it all, but you have to be open-minded. And if you're going to come to a cultural gathering and be exposed to a piece of our culture, certainly a powwow is only a tiny fraction, you have to at least be respectful of that culture. And so this was really a travesty. And I pointed out, not because of just this thing, but because this is what's happening all the time, all over the place, that these cultural negative experiences are happening. This just happened to be one that ended up going viral and was all over the place. And luckily, issues were corrected. Yeah, this was, the homepage at the time where, people could actually write in to them about this issue. So back to tribal colleges and things, I mentioned this before, how there had been an initiative in the White House to improve, tribal colleges and universities and the implementation of the executive order, and ensuring that nations, tribal colleges and universities are more fully recognized and have full access to federal program benefiting other higher education institutions. Now, how sad is that you have to actually do that? In other words, if you read between the lines, in our history, tribal colleges and universities didn't have the same rights as all the other mainstream colleges and universities to the resources. Again, that's where that discrepancy comes and where we have that lesser opportunity. So currently there are, when I wrote this, there are 33 fully accredited tribal colleges and universities in the United States, and there are also some with associate status, most of which are in the Midwest and Southwest. However, I want to say that schools like Harvard were originally founded to be indigenous schools. And so because of that, to honor their original charter, they have made it so that if you can get into Harvard on your academic credentials and you are indigenous and do not have resources, you can get a free ride to Harvard. Now, not that it's so easy to get in there, but at least that opportunity happens. Last year, Tiffany Smalley was the first Wampanoag, Aquinnah Wampanoag, to graduate from Harvard for several hundred years. I want to say it was 200 years. Since 1665. Yes, since 1665, so that's a few hundred years. And that's a travesty. And certainly Harvard has become very elite and it's very difficult, but they do have a fairly strong indigenous program there that does help indigenous community members, but they really have to glean the whole entire nation to fill that sort of quote unquote quota of students to succeed at Harvard.
Thanks for watching. This podcast series is presented by Tomaquag Museum. Visit our website at www.tomaquagmuseum.org. Support this and other great podcast content at our Patreon page at www.patreon.com/artways. The Indigenous Lifeways podcast is funded in part by the Rhode Island State Council on the Arts. Investment in arts and culture. Videography by Dana Nugent. Video editing by Dana Nugent and Michael Johnson. Music presented by Eagle and Hawk. www.eagleandhawk.com